I also want to bring in another topic that I'd like your thoughts on. I don't know if, and I know it's a risk of entering into this GNU conversation before we formally discuss its future a little bit later on. But I must tell you, I remain, I think, somewhat amused, but a little bit scared too, I'll be honest, when I watch how competitive the GNU partners are. When the Government of National Unity first came together, a lot of us thought, oh, this is good. They'll be competitive. They will work well for us as citizens. But what you actually see are a heck of a lot of spats on social media. I don't know if you saw Solly Malatsi and Khusela Diko. So one is the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, that's Solly Malatsi. The other is Parliament's Communications Portfolio Committee Chair, Khusela Diko. They recently clashed over the SABC bill. So they're at it again. So if you listen to 702 Breakfast with Bongani Pingwa yesterday, Khusela Diko came on and she was arguing that the minister is determined to be an illegal delinquent. I think that's what she called him. She accused him of failing to follow proper processes and the law. Diko says the minister's bid to devolve power away from SITA, that's the State Information Technology Agency, that's the current SPAT, to various departments, allowing them to have the right to procure their own services, IT services, is unlawful. She's also referred to this as anti-transformation. The minister, on his part, insists this is a way to deal with SITA's operational weaknesses. He says Diko's claims are false. And then he says that, when it comes to the issue of regulations, which is really, from my understanding, the nub of their disagreement, is that you must give the departments, that the law does give the departments the freedom to procure services outside of SITA. Minister Solly Malatsi joins us now on the line to try and explain his part on all of this. Solly, good morning. Welcome to Radio 702. Let's start with what necessitated all of this for you. You speak about operational weaknesses from SITA's perspective. What are the concerns that you have?
Good morning, Tshidi, and to your listeners. At the root of this is genuinely a request to help government departments to be able to meet their ICT needs at a quicker turnaround time, at a much more affordable rate, and also through a reliable service across government, whether be it at national government department level or provincial government. There's been persistent frustration with the quality of services that government department and government spheres are getting from SITA, and those deficiencies have impacted government's ability to also meet its digital transformation aspirations. So one of the provisions which are available by law are two options. One being that the government departments can make applications to whoever the Minister of Communications is at a given time and seek exemptions from the existing prescripts in order to procure outside. The complication with that, though, is that you leave that process to the subjective views of one individual, that being, a Minister of Communications. There is also another avenue. That avenue is through a regulation that can be introduced that can help empower departments to have the freedom to say, when a government department is able to present a business case, Tshidi, and that business case must be within the prescripts of existing procurement laws and be able to prove to SITA that instead of what you are offering, at the cost that you are offering, at the turnaround that you are offering, we are able to procure it elsewhere at a lower cost and at a quicker turnaround time. That is the key of this. And all of this is not contrary to what the propaganda seems to suggest, a devolution of powers, is to say that departments have to have this sort of freedom in order to competitively seek resources that can help them meet their aspirations. If you were to do a survey, Tshidi, of the government ministers and across all GNU parties, you will understand the depth of the frustration that some of the inefficiencies at SITA has impacted their ability to be able to do their job. So this is not outside the law. This fear that they is somehow acting outside of the prescripts of the law is just to make a scarecrow argument that does not have any facts around it. We have done consultation of all the executive authorities as the SITA Act imposes, and ultimately secured the concurrence of the Minister of Finance, who is obligated by the SITA Act when there is a regulation to give his concurrence, which is his ultimate support. And the Minister of Finance have done that. And Tshidi, if there is any legal delinquency, I mean, would all of these other steps also have endorsed the delinquency that's being alluded to? No, it is simply based on a fundamental misunderstanding or a deliberate quest to just distort the facts.
The part where they label it as anti-transformation, your response to that, I mean, if you said other departments, other ministers, particularly from Treasury, is also aligned with this, then one would question, why is it perceived to be anti-transformation? Do you feel like that's also a campaign, or do you recognize where that objection stems from?
No, I mean, look, Tshidi, I think also the climate that we are in also informs some of the behavior that we are seeing. And again, that tag is not grounded on the facts. So I'll choose to stick to the facts, and that the facts indicate that this is to empower. One of the weaknesses in the current system is that governments feel that they are not able to achieve the level of efficiency that they could be achieving because of the restriction to solely procure from SITA. And this will provide an avenue that will help improve that. It is within the law. And if, Tshidi, there is an argument that it is outside, there are channels that can be pursued where there is an indication that somehow a minister is acting effusively outside of the bounds of the law. And that hasn't been taken up. And that just shows that this is not an argument about legal compliance or not. It's a political campaign.
And you keep saying that you have made it about new battles. You're suggesting from that statement yesterday that you said that Khusela Diko is auditioning for a job. She's campaigning to take over the job, supposedly, of communication minister. That to me suggests that you'll be out of your job soon. Are you looking to quit as communications minister, Solly?
Look, individually, no, the DA will make a pronouncement once we've completed all the consultations. I think as you would have followed the conversations that's going on, there are bilateral discussions that will be taking place. And any discussion about, our future in this government will be determined by the outcome of those discussions.
Is Solly Malatsi, though, ready to vacate office?
When the DA makes the decision, as a leader within the DA, we'll inform our views in the DA, and we will go with whatever decision suits the Democratic Alliance.
Whatever decision suits the Democratic Alliance. Thank you so much. That's Minister of Communications and Digital Technology, Solly Malatsi, saying that a lot of the claims being made against him, as far as SITA is concerned, are unfounded. He says that they are political. He speaks about the political climate and campaigning, and how the communications portfolio chair is campaigning for his job. But they actually do agree on what the issues are at SITA, if you think about it. Parliament has been looking at the state of, State Information Technology Agency. Technology is outdated. Security is weak. There's mismanagement that they've complained about. It's also been placed at the heart of crippling many other departments. So when you are frustrated with Home Affairs, the South African Police Services and Human Settlements, a lot of those issues sometimes stem from what's gone wrong or what is going wrong at SITA. 011-883-0702, 072-702-1702 if you want to weigh in on this. Of course, we're also speaking about the violence we've been seeing at the soccer games, where some people are accusing specifically North African teams of being problematic in their behavior, the so-called ultra culture. That's what they say it is. Some saying that it actually, those teams undermine South African teams. Is that the perception? But most importantly, what should CAF be doing about this?